2021 is a special year for Nintendo's most iconic IPs. It marks the 35th anniversary for both The Legend of Zelda and the Metroid series. The official 35th anniversary of the first Zelda game was back on February 21st, but as I'm making this video, Metroid's is still yet to arrive, which will occur just days from now on August 6th. When it comes to anniversaries, Nintendo can be pretty unpredictable, as they sometimes make a huge deal about an anniversary and then just completely overlook them in other instances. So with that being said, it's unknown whether or not Nintendo has plans in store for the official 35th anniversary. They don't necessarily need to do anything, considering the fact that they've announced the release of Metroid Dread this year, which will be dropping on October 8th. There is at least speculation that there is more in store though. According to a gaming journalist from Video Games Chronicle, Jeff Grubb, Nintendo has already completed a Metroid Prime Trilogy port for the Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo is simply waiting for the right time to announce and release this highly anticipated trilogy. Now I'm gonna be frank here, other than who he works for, I know basically nothing about this Jeff Grubb guy. I don't know if he has a genuine inside scoop, or if he deserves any credibility. To be honest, most of the time, I don't even like gaming journalists all that much. But let's just say he's actually a good one, and has a legitimate inside source that gave him this information on the Prime Trilogy. If Nintendo is actually holding on to it for the opportune moment, then you might want to mark your calendars for August 6th. Assuming that there are still some 35th anniversary surprises for Metroid, these are the things that I'm hoping to see unveiled that would make the Metroid anniversary a perfect one for me. Obviously, first is the Metroid Prime Trilogy, but with a twist. These are some of the most underrated and impressive games in Nintendo's history. The first two were released on the Nintendo GameCube, and the third was on the Nintendo Wii. This will probably be the biggest challenge for Nintendo, converting the Wii Remote function to the Nintendo Switch's button layout. Based on the previously released Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I really doubt there will be much graphical enhancements for the Prime games on the Switch, but I would certainly love to see it if possible. One of the most overlooked and forgotten aspects of the Prime games came from the second game, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. It was the only Prime game that included the multiplayer option. It was definitely one of the most anticipated aspects of the game, which is easy to understand when you consider the climate of the gaming world in 2004. Halo's multiplayer was dominating the scene, and other gaming studios were trying to figure out how to emulate its success. Then the highly anticipated Halo 2 was released on November 9th, 2004, and continued to dominate the multiplayer world, especially with its presence on Xbox Live. Just 6 days later, Metroid Prime 2 was released on the Nintendo GameCube and made its own attempt at the multiplayer aspect, but unfortunately, it didn't translate nearly as well. It was a fun and unique experience for me personally, but with its unconventional controls and with its lack of online play, it just didn't stir up the excitement and support that it needed to become a staple of the series. And when Metroid Prime 3 was released just a few years later, it was unsurprisingly absent from the game. Not only do I hope that Prime 2's multiplayer is included on the Switch's trilogy, but I would really love to see it supported with online play. Don't get me wrong, this wouldn't suddenly make Metroid Prime's multiplayer a dominant force online, but at the very least, it would give us another way to enjoy the game, while finally alleviating an issue that's held it back since 2004. There's one other thing that I would love to see in the Prime Trilogy, and it's certainly a long shot, but I think it would be a wise move considering the timing of its potential release. With Metroid Dread releasing in October, and considering how it's the 5th Metroid game in the 2D platforming series, I think it would make sense to release the 4 previous Metroid games on the trilogy as well. That way, some people could catch up before the release of the 5th game. It would be Metroid on the NES, Metroid 2 Return of Samus on the Game Boy, Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, and Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance, all on the trilogy as well. It's a lot to ask for, but I don't think it would be all that difficult. And in my opinion, this would be the recipe for the perfect celebration of Metroid's 35th anniversary. So what do you guys think? What would make Metroid's 35th anniversary perfect for you? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Nintendo content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.